We'll do a little house cleaning before Rich comes on. Bam! We're live. 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Straight off the set of Grease. The remake. John Travolta ain't got shit on Sousa.
Oh, boy.
Sousa, you got a switchblade? You got a switchblade?
Oh, damn it. I just had...
You need a switchblade comb.
Yeah.
You need a switchblade comb.
Coming on back.
Those were cool as a kid. I really liked your that video. Are we going to post that, the CEO video? Are we going to post that on the Sevan Podcast Instagram?
Yeah, I was actually just in the middle of trying to get it set.
Awesome. When I was like, hey, let's go on early.
Yep. Yeah.
Guys, we are getting ready for Wodapalooza. We are. I guess for us, Wodapalooza already started. We've been having some great phone calls with Dylan and is her name Shayna over there?
Sasha.
Sorry, Sasha. Seems like once again this year we're going to be welcome with open arms. I'm super excited about that. We have a great sponsorship with California Hormones and Paper Street Coffee working together. If you are an athlete, if you have registered for Wodapalooza and you would like a free shirt while supplies last, you can have one of those CEO shirts. I don't know if it's this one. I think it's more like this one you'll get than that one, but I'm not sure. But you go to the Paper Street Coffee booth. He will be next to Vindicate, where other people can buy the booths. The logic was this. Wodapalooza has been so nice to us by letting us go there with our media and open arms. And so we decided, hey, what can we do to contribute to the ecosystem? I mean, they didn't ask us to do that. We just thought, okay, let's do that. So I am back in Kashmir. I am not showered, but it is the glow of Kashmir. I think Kashmir comes from a rabbit, right? There's a Kashmir rabbit.
I have no idea, but it looks great.
Rabbit something. When I used to stay frequently in the Beverly Hills Montage, they sold these in the lobby, so I got one of every color: blue, black,
of course gray. You did.
Yeah, so it's so soft.
It looks soft from here.
I wanted to say this real quick while I have 5 minutes left. There was a comment in the YouTube video we did this morning, the interview we did with James Spriggs and Brian Friend, and it said that eating is so unprofessional. And James was having like a bagel with peanut butter. And I thought that was interesting. I don't even know what that means, unprofessional. And I was going to like get on my high horse and poo-poo all over that comment. But then I thought, when you do speak, we have an obligation to be socially conscious, I guess. I'll give you an example of someone who might not be socially conscious. A friend rides over to your house with on their motorcycle, and your mom walks over to him and goes, "You know you're gonna die on that." And they ride over on their motorcycle, and your mom goes, "You know you're gonna die on that thing." Mm. And it's just, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it pushes the boundaries of what I think of. Like, I'm more interested in being socially responsible than professional. I don't even really know what professional means. Professional sounds like wokeism to me. Actually, James Sprague is one of the fittest human beings on the planet today. There's no hyperbole there. And obviously fueling is a major part of being one of the fittest people on the planet. And if he has to eat while he fits us in to talk to us, then I think that's absolutely professional. Like, it's so, it's such an egotistical term. It really got highlighted to me when I thought of the fact when people would call Dave Castro unprofessional. And I'm just like, wow, he's like the most professional person I've ever met. And if you're trying to win the hearts and minds of the public, I think wearing a tie, in my opinion, is if you're a politician, I would rather see a politician in a sheet with nothing else on to show that his mind is transparent, he is transparent, and there's no ego, rather than the suit and tie and all that shit. Like, you guys have, I just don't see it the way I guess other people see it. We have tons and tons of censorship already of what we can say and can't say on this show. I have no issue with, I think it's a misnomer, a mischaracterization. I think when someone says it's not professional when someone eats on the show, I mean, if you want to say, hey, it grosses me out when you eat on the show, that's, you're at least now you're talking about what it does to you. But just saying unprofessional, it's like, go fuck yourself. You know, like I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And that I'm buying that.
It's fine.
Yeah, some people don't like to share a tent with a guy who farts a lot. Yeah, I get it. Like, don't say like it's unprofessional. It's probably one of the most professional things that please ask Rich to take his shirt off.
Okay, that's unprofessional.
Hey, if he comes on with his shirt on, he's being unprofessional. So thanks, Joel, by the way, for the $1.99.
Thank you.
I'm going to predict that Rich is in his truck somewhere on the property. Sort of, he's sequestered himself. I don't know if it was a hater. I just thought I appreciated the comment because then it gives me an opportunity to speak on it. In the same way, like when Damar Hamlin went down, the NFL guy, I don't expect the commentator to just be like, it would be socially irresponsible if the commentator said, "Hey, that's clearly the vaccine," or "That's clear," like made a diagnosis right there. I think that would have been socially irresponsible. Do I think Twitter and Instagram and pundits like me who want to postulate about it? I think it's totally fine. I do think it was very unprofessional. There was I showed you guys the article, and we'll talk about it again on the live call-in show we'll do this weekend sometime that Sousa doesn't know about yet. I do think it was very unprofessional for that doctor to come on that say, "Hey, anyone who's speculating that it's the vaccine is the worst of humanity and should climb under the rock that they came out from under." And then 3 hours later, he went on CNN and started speculating what happened. It's like, what gives you the right to speculate?
Yeah, holier than thou.
Yeah, being a doctor, it definitely doesn't make you an expert at all. You're so biased in your opinion as a doctor. You're the furthest thing from an expert. The furthest thing from an expert. If you're a doctor, you are a biased at best. You're a hyper biased expert. Nothing against doctors. It's just like I'm a hyper biased. I'm not an expert in podcasting. At best I'm a hyper biased talkaholic. How are you?
I'm great. One thing I would like to say real quick before Rich gets on, because I know these shows catch a lot of attention. If you guys have ever received 1 ounce of value from this show, whether you agree with the live call-ins and like that, or whether you're simply here because you're a fan of Rich or some of the other athletes,
if you enjoyed trolling us, even
if you enjoy trolling us, even if you enjoy sending Sevan nasty DMs, just do us a favor. It costs you absolutely nothing, but if you just subscribe to the channel, it means a world to us. Sevan will never come out here and kind of say this stuff, but this is where I feel I'm responsible for it, because we know that if we drive a call to action, you guys subscribe. It costs you nothing. It takes 1.5 seconds out of your life. Just hit the button already. Do it now. And we'll keep bringing you awesome stuff like this.
Someone told me that they're frustrated with how many notifications they get. Boy, the notifications for YouTube channels I subscribe to don't bug me at all. Just delete.
Imagine a world when we produce so much awesome content, people are frustrated by the amount of content we're producing. Wow. Wow. What a life. You guys are doing too much.
It was a regular listener. It was cool. Yeah. Cannot lose to Hiller. Too late. Hiller won. I concede. I don't
view them as the same thing. I view our channels so separately that it's not even. That's like, you know,
I'm mostly joking.
We're yin and yang. We love each other and complement.
He's got a great 10-minute format. I was just, when I was looking at do's and don'ts, when I saw that there was that comment of someone eating on the podcast, I was looking at the I looked up the do's and don'ts of podcasting, and one of them was never to go over 22 minutes. I was like, well. Rich just texted me and said he's not coming to the show. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. Settle down. Like 10 people were tried to close their window already. Settle down. Anthony TPA, $5. If I get a COVID vaccine between my toes, does that qualify me as a medical expert? Keep up the work, boys. Don't let Rich off easy today. Always let Rich off easy.
Rich off easy.
Always let Rich off easy.
I think he's going to be a Mayhem. Go ahead. Sorry.
I titled this podcast, one of the things I wrote in the thumbnail. Oh, by the way, anyone who wants to help us, we will take help. But it's not easy helping us. It is a fucking lot of work, and you do it for free. Just ask Rich. Just ask Rich.
Do everything for free, right?
Yeah.
What a good dude.
Formerly.
Kidding. Already bringing the heat.
Rich, my sister called me today, and she said, "Why is Rich coming on the show? What is he promoting?"
Old news, right? Old news.
She said, "What is he promoting?" I'm like, I think you have the needle in the wrong spot." She goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "I think it's charity."
Charity.
Charity, yeah.
Philanthropist.
Yeah, I said it's more of a charity to the show, and she said, "Oh, why do you think he does that?" And I said, "I think he does it to 100%."
Have some fun.
To have some. Okay.
Have some fun.
I was gonna say tax write-off, but yeah, have some
tax
fun.
write-off.
I made up some really egotistical shit. Go ahead. This is fun for you?
Oh yeah, it's good to catch up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You're not antisocial? You're not kind of antisocial?
Depends on the day. Some days I am.
Yeah.
You know, I get I would say that it's something that I've grown into. I tell people that all the time. There's days that I don't want to say I'm an introvert. I'm not an extrovert. I'm a little bit probably somewhere in the middle, a little bit more introverted. Stuff like this won't burn me out. But if I get in front of a large group and speak or hang out or whatever, or have to interact with a bunch of people, I enjoy it. But when I'm done, it takes me some rebound time for sure.
Jacqueline Robinson, thank you.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, for example, in Santa Cruz, early in your career, you did a performance in front of several thousand people, and there was no security, and you finished the workout on the stage, and then the stage got surrounded, and you couldn't get off the stage. There was
full panic.
Yeah, that was, and you basically had to sign your way out of there.
Yes.
It was kind of nuts. I mean, it was a great photo op. No one from HQ came to save you. I just took photos.
He's
we're surrounded by 1,000 people, and you were on a stage. There was nowhere to dismount or anything.
Nope. I was stuck. I was completely trapped, full on panic. It wore me out worse doing that than doing the actual workout.
Yeah, crazy. And early in your career.
Yeah, I was, like I said, it's something that I've grown into over the years. Early on, speaking in public, anything like that was really hard for me, and now it doesn't really bother me, but it'll drain me for sure.
This is what I told her. I said, I think he does it because we have a history.
Yep.
And he sees I'm a father with 3 kids.
Yep.
And it's his way of supporting me. And
yes.
Although
and hanging. I like to hang.
Yeah.
We haven't talked, every couple of months. It's good. Good to keep up.
And then I said, we established a really good friendship in the beginning, and then we got distant for a while. No real drama, but just
kids, man. Kids are hard to
and some work stuff. There was some weird stuff around the film. There was some weird stuff around the film, but nothing bad. No hatred. No words ever got back to me. You were saying bad shit about me. I never said any bad shit about you. Just some distance. And so I said, maybe he's because he's a good Christian. He's just like doing it like to. Maybe he hates me and he's just doing it to like to be nice to someone he hates. And my sister said this to me. She goes, Christians can't have hate in their heart. And I said, how come? And she said, because it interferes with their communication with God.
I can see that. I just, God says love people, and gotta love people, even, is what it is. But we're good. We're friends. It's good. I feel like we're catching up.
Yeah. I feel very close to you now, by the way. I don't mean to rehash that every show.
I've got no problem. No problems.
Yeah, I love you. I'd swing by your house unannounced.
Welcome anytime. Welcome anytime.
Donations for Rich's CrossFit Open fees for the Masters division. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that.
What is the demand on your time from outside groups? Is there a steady drumbeat? Rich, will you come to this charity? Rich, will you do my podcast? Rich, will you come enter this, Zealous Games? Is there a steady drumbeat, or? It
just depends on the time of year, really. Right now, since I'm a murderer and a killer, I've been doing a lot of hunting podcasts, which I really enjoy, because I'm a killer. So that's
is that what people are saying on the?
On the
Internets?
Instagrams? Yeah. For sure. I love it.
Wow.
But yeah, so I've been doing a couple of those recently. It's been a ton of fun to just kind of check out that community and be a part of that. And it's fun. It's been cool.
It's funny because I typed in your name into the browser on Chrome, and I was looking around for any podcasts you've done. I didn't see any of the hunting ones.
They should, I guess, soon start coming out. I guess I just did one with Elk Shape. So that one should be cool. And then I'm actually gonna go out. Do you guys know who Cam Hanes is?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Supposed to go out and hang out with Cam Hanes for a couple days. Super excited about that because he seems like a cool dude and really into fitness and hunting and something that, you know, I'm pretty passionate about, both of those. What's the learning curve on hunting? Very steep, and metaphorically and in real life, climbing mountains. It's been good for me. It's been fun to fail at something that's not public, you know, if that makes sense. Granted, we're making YouTube videos out of it, so it's pretty public when you fail, but there's a challenge to it. There's something just natural to it, being out in the woods, disconnecting from everything, chasing a ghost, a little bit of competition, and then now to have some success at it, to have some meat and the reward of some really clean, really good, healthy food for me, for my family. Well, my family minus Hillary, she won't eat it, but my kids love it. Your wife won't eat your kills? She will not. She does not like things that don't come from the store. Interesting. Okay. You know, Hill, she's got her food thing. She just likes, you know, spaghetti. She loves spaghetti. That's her deal. I want to send her the video of PETA, the 24-minute video they have on how cows are harvested from it's farms. It's absolutely fucking brutal. It's pretty crazy. So tearjerker shit for sure. That's my kind of rebuttal to anybody that is anti-hunting. Like, I get vegan, vegetarian. That's your choice. I can respect your opinion on me being a hunter and not supporting that. But people that eat meat and are against hunting, not if you eat meat and don't hunt, but if you're against hunting, that's where I got a problem. James Hobart the second. Jimmy. Also donate towards Rick. Old Jimmy. That's the first time in 700 shows. Hobart listens to everyone like a religious nut. I'm his cult leader, and this is the first time he's donated money. You son of a bitch. Whale skin Hobart. Hey, if every man in the United States and every woman in the United States was a hunter, can you imagine the environmental movement that would fucking get behind that to preserve the land and the animals for hunting? You want to be, I'm just making this up off the top of my head, but the last thing you want to see is land be turned into cities and skyscrapers and being ruined, right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, and that's what's kind of cool about it too, is the more I've gotten into hunting, the more conservation stuff is important to me. You know, there's things that, you know, I mean, with our farm, you just look at bison and what we did to them, what, you know, decimated them from, they say anywhere from 40 to 60 million down to less than 1,000. And to see kind of the conservation behind that, and then really look at conserving their habitat. You know, a lot of people I think look at hunting and, oh, it's just a bunch of killers that are going out there for trophy hunters and, you know, that type of thing, where I did keep the rack on my bull, and it's in my living room, but it's more of a memory of the time, the sacrifice, the brotherhood, and then the meat's in my freezer that I get to eat and have that as well. So there's a huge conservation side of hunting. Like, yeah, we want to preserve and keep the herds, and I'm speaking to the elk side of it, but you want to make sure the animal's there, because if you just decimate it and go out there and are an idiot, then yeah, you're not going to have anything left to hunt. So I don't think people, when they see the negatives or think of the negative side of hunting, they don't think about that. You're not out there to shoot the last white rhino. No, exactly. We're going out there and doing it the right way. So no rhinos. I haven't found one yet. Donation to get Hobart back on the show. That's way too much. He'd come back on for 50 cents.
Yeah,
50.
What's the give me an example of a failed mission that was your fault. Have you ever been, like, the only thing I can think of, you ever been too noisy, you drop something, you talk when you're not supposed to, you farted, you get a phone call from Hillary?
That's what I said, the phone goes off.
Usually there's no phone reception where we're at. I mean, there's so much to it. There's, it's very tactical. You're playing wind, you're playing, obviously sound is something that you're doing. Wind is the main thing, really. If you get
the nose, they got the nose,
dude. Yeah. The defense mechanism, you're in their home. They're, everybody thinks it's some defenseless animal, but these things they're hard to find. And then I guarantee we've walked past, probably hundreds because of their nose, their smell. They're not defenseless animals out here in the wild. So it's, multiple times but what we would call bumping animals, where the wind is, kind of at your back, and as you're walking around, you see them just take off. There's no way they saw you, but they for sure smelled you. So there's too many probably to count times that we've screwed it up.
When you go out on a hunt, if let's say you're going for one animal, let's say you're going for a deer, but you see an elk, can you pivot? Is that?
Depends if you have a license for it. So like when we go out west, I'm speaking mainly to elk hunting. I can't sit still enough to hunt whitetail here in Tennessee. That's more of a sit and wait type game. I like to get out and move. You know me. I can't sit still for more than 30 minutes to an hour if I am sitting. And so elk hunting is something that I've really gotten into because of the kind of the tactical side of it and moving around. And so you have to buy a tag, and there's only a certain amount of tags that are given depending on the state, and everything's kind of different, but I'll speak to Colorado. You buy an elk tag, an over-the-counter tag with a bow, and you can get either sex elk, and they are male and female. There are no in-betweens there.
Thank you. There's not the non-binary tag where you can just shoot anyone?
Those are off limits, yeah.
Now everybody hates me. So...
No, it's important these days. You're being courteous.
Yeah, you identified them correctly. That's a good thing.
That's
a good thing.
And good so from there, depending on what unit, there, a lot of the places are
let me go back to that real quick for a second. Units. Could you buy a tag that's just for a male elk?
Yes. Yeah. You can buy a bull tag or a cow tag. So like the second hunt that I went on this year in Colorado, since I already killed a bull, I could only get a cow tag.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you can tell what the difference between man and woman or female, male elk from 50 feet?
Pretty far away. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Horns.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Antlers.
All right.
Antlers, I guess.
All right. I'm ready for my first hunt. CrossFit Riverside, $20. Oh my God. We got to have Rich on more often. This podcast might succeed.
And so I don't even remember where we're at, but yeah, so you can't
the tags.
So you buy an elk tag. Depending on the unit, you could also purchase a mule deer tag or whatever, or like the unit we were in, you could purchase for extra $100 a black bear tag. But it was only good in a certain amount of units because they keep track of the herd numbers or size of the population, and it's different no matter or depending on where you go. So if you have a legal tag, yes, you could do that. If you poach, then that's up to you. But somebody finds out, you're going to be in big trouble.
Have you ever got back to your car or you're out there and a forest ranger, whoever it is, comes up to you and says, "Hey, can I see your tags?"
We have not. Where we hunt or where we hunted this last time, we were pretty close to some. So we hunt public land. Was where we killed this last bull, and you're really close to private land, and people frown upon you even stepping foot on their land. So you got to be pretty smart. There was he was weird. It was a weird encounter we had with a guy that, said he was hunting private land, but was watching or public land, but was watching us very closely to make sure we never step foot on some private land. So very defensive on their property, which rightfully so.
Interesting. Okay. And so you could see him. You just ran into him out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, we were carrying back about 400 pounds of meat on our back, and this guy's like, "Oh, where'd you kill that at?" And he was, "Oh, that's great, good job." And investigating a little too much. So
too friendly, like friendly to the point where it was like manipulative.
Yeah, and then like kind of followed us to make sure we were staying, because we were close. Like I said, coming back out, we were making sure to stay on public land. even carrying this thing out, which was the most miserable experience of my life, carrying this thing out. But yeah, it was just a little weird.
How much of the weight were you carrying?
I had the back straps, the loins, and I think a couple organs, plus the head and cape, which I'd say around maybe 100 pounds around there, but it was just really awkward. It was about 2 miles if you went in a straight line, but we went up, over, around, and through, and it took 2 hours. We took, I think it was 3 or 4 5-minute breaks, and my heart rate through that whole time averaged 140.
And were you just soaking wet when you got back to the car?
just mad. It was probably 60, 70 degrees, but you're just full of sweat. And it was, like I said, it was top 3 most miserable things I've ever done.
So when this guy starts talking to you, you don't even, it was snowing?
No, it was like 60, 70, but you're just ready to be done mentally, physically, emotionally. It was hard.
Luis Lemos, one of the biggest contributors to the show, $50.
Man.
Hey, when Dave was on, he gave 100. Don't get too excited, Rich. Don't get too excited.
Dave's level.
Do you that guy, when he starts talking to you, because you're carrying so much weight, do you stop, or do you just keep walking and he's got to keep up if he wants to talk to you?
I want to say we maybe stop for like 2 seconds, put our hands on our knees, and then we're just kind of like, we're on, bro. You know, like there's surely there's an understood that we're not being dicks, but we're carrying a pretty good amount. The only time you would really stop is if you found a good tree that had fallen over, and I could set my pack weight on that tree, and you're not really sitting on anything, but the pack weight is off of your shoulders and back. And it was, it was a grind for sure.
Is that dude carrying a gun? Does any part of you think, hey, this guy might shoot us and take our meat?
He didn't have a gun. It was bow season. He said he was scouting for rifle season, which was a couple months after. So that was the weird part. Like I said, a couple, you're carrying a sidearm as well. So hopefully it doesn't come to that, but you never know with some people. Some people get crazy.
Yeah,
I would just think it's just crazy out there. Holy shit, guys. This is nuts. Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Sound it out.
Lehrman.
From the reader in the group, Rich Froning, Josh Lehrman, 99.99. Love Rich. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, do people actually jack other people for meat out there?
No,
it's someone just roll up and like.
I'm just thinking, because of that Idaho murder, I got murder on my mind.
No, dude, don't even get going. My wife has been obsessed with that shit. It's crazy. It's nuts. I get the Alpha David updates and everything.
I've been keeping up with that Damar Hamlin stuff with the football. Did you watch that? That was crazy. I watched it live. It was that was bizarre. I
got like 20 text messages. Hey, dude, I know you don't watch football, but turn on your TV right now.
Man, it was. I'm glad to hear he's making, from everything that I've read, he's making some pretty big improvements. First question he asked when he woke up was, "Did they win?"
Awesome. Did he?
Yeah, that's what they said. I don't know how true that is, but they said he was writing on a notepad and asked if they won.
Hey, and what did they? What ended up happening? I saw that
they've postponed the game indefinitely. I don't even think they're going to play it. They've talked about. Because there's kind of a weird. They don't need the game to figure out who makes the playoffs, but they need to get the game to see if they need the game to see who is the number 1 seed in the AFC. And so I think for the AFC championship, they may play it at a neutral site. I was really hoping they were going to add an 8th seed, so my Lions might have a chance to win it in and not have to worry about Seahawks. But we'll see. You're
a Detroit Lions fan?
I am, unfortunately, my entire life.
Have you ever met Barry?
No, my childhood hero, though. I had a fat head of Barry in my office when I had an office, but I don't even have an office anymore. Josh took that from me. So,
you know that guy? Travis's son Tyson. I've been texting you about.
I've kept up with him. He's an athlete, dude.
When the agent was trying to get him to sign with when a particular agent was trying to get Tyson to sign with them.
Yeah.
They sent Dan Marino over to his house. Jeez. And Dan Marino had dinner with the family, and then Barry Sanders called him.
Oh man, Barry Sanders! I'm telling you,
is that crazy
my
or what?
Childhood hero. Insane. Like the day he retired was one of the hardest days of my life.
Hey, you deserve it. That's what you did to us. You deserve it. Someone who retires early, you deserve it.
I know the feeling, Rich.
Yeah.
I know
sorry. Hey, I'm still here.
Just so everyone knows, it's Barry Sanders' fault that we didn't get another year out of Rich.
Honestly, it might have been. Like he did that to me. I was like, you know what? Maybe he was. I mean, he he didn't need to keep playing, and I don't blame him. And he kind of lost that fire. I don't hold it against him. As a child, I held it against him. Now, as an adult, I see it. But man, that was hard for me as a kid.
Maybe one of the greatest football players who ever lived, which is bizarre to say about a running back. I mean, he was truly the guy.
I would say he is. I mean,
you gave him the ball and you never knew what was going to happen. You just never fucking knew. And then, but on one of the worst teams that ever was.
Ever. Worst worst. I would argue, and I'm 1,000% in support of the Lions every year. Always have been. It's the worst franchise in all of sports, and I can argue that to a T because they've won one playoff game. I'm talking Super Bowl era. They've won one playoff game in the Super Bowl era. And then everybody wants to say the Browns, but the Browns are technically an expansion team. The Browns franchise is the Baltimore Ravens, who have won a Super Bowl. So the Lions, every other team's an expansion team. The Lions have been there since the Super Bowl started and won one playoff game. Worst franchise in all sports. Done. Drop. I love them. I've watched every game. I've watched every game for the past 7 or 8 years. When I was a kid, we couldn't, since the addition of NFL Sunday Ticket, I've watched every single game. But man, it's the worst.
No bueno.
No bueno.
Josh Holton, $9.99. We just changed to Mayhem affiliate for our gym. Loving the Mayhem mentality. And of course, love Rich. Peace and love Sevan and Matthew Souza too.
Thanks, Josh. Man, Darren does an incredible job with that, with the programming and then the rest of the team with kind of the back of the house stuff. So that's Darren's. I'm happy to see Darren take, do a really good job with that.
Tell me about this other guy, Jake.
Lockhart?
Yeah, Lockhart. Is he the most unknown guy who's doing the most maybe in maybe the games community? I reached out to him. I think we're going to get him to come on the show. I'm super excited. Is he the guy?
Man, Jake's great. He's been with us really since, Jake was the behind What's Rich Doing and kind of started, when we started doing online programming, me and Jake would go back and forth. Jake's literally every workout that I've ever done, he's seen or, typed it out or whatever. And Jake's in charge of online programming and kind of the mastermind behind that. And has basically taken it, from where it was in its infancy, day one, from What's Rich Doing to what Mayhem Athlete is now. I'm just the ceremonial leader and come up with some bad ideas every once in a while. But Jake's usually the guy that refines it and makes it good. So, yeah.
How did he earn your trust, Rich? How did he earn your trust?
He was just here, like one of those guys that was just here and always there. And from the beginning, he went to Tennessee Tech, started at the original Mayhem, not the original, the second original Mayhem, back by the donut shop. And was just there and kind of trained with us. And then started coaching a little bit at Mayhem. And then finished his undergrad and then went to PT school and wanted to kind of stay involved and stay with us. And so we decided to, he was our first person that worked remote. And like I said, just kind of kept doing What's Rich Doing and kept growing it. And then we took on, Compete, and then has forged all these partnerships with all the, what I would call SMEs, to take an acronym from CrossFit and forged all these kind of partnerships within the training community and taking it to the next level. And so, we talk a ton about programming and man, it's been fun. It's been good.
How long was the relationship informal before it became formal?
Probably 2 or 3 years, if I had to guess. He was just kind of training at the gym, but then also training with the group when we had the team, one of the years. And
so he's good. He CrossFit's good.
Yeah, he's really fit. We always joke that he doesn't really, in the last couple of years, he's kind of given up the competition. He's trying to compete and make the games. Like, he won beach brawl in the RX division, but he's a good athlete and well rounded. He's right now their goal is to do an Ironman, I think in August or September, something like that. They're trying to get me on that, but I feel like my left knee would turn to dust on the marathon part.
I'm on the podcast with Rich right now. Can you call me back later?
Ask him if he's
Ask him what?
If he's coming to Georgia.
He's going to come with me to see the 3-star general.
Are you coming with Dave to see the 3-star general?
I'm going to try to, Dave. And I heard you were trash talking me yesterday. Dave's like that.
Oh, he said he's going to. Dave, you might need a link, buddy. He says he was going to, but he heard you were trash talking him yesterday on the podcast.
Dave's like that girlfriend that you broke up with, but you're still friends with, and they still need more attention than they deserve, you know? Like,
oh, he's fucking you up, Dave. He's fucking you up. He says like you're like the ex-girlfriend that you still stay friends with, but what did you say? He needs more attention than he deserves?
Like,
yeah.
We're still friends, but, you know.
Oh, that hurt. That really hurt.
I love you, Dave. I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
He says he loves you, but he's not in love with you. You need to fucking embrace that.
I need to see if I'm going to survive through Wodapalooza first. I might not be able to walk.
All
right. Bye. He's inviting you to go see a 3-star general.
I know. I need to. But man, it's the hard part.
He doesn't even run the games anymore. He doesn't even know what his position is over there. You don't got to do shit for him. You don't even got a podcast.
Hey, I don't want to that's not it. It's just, I got 3 kids. I got to figure out schedules. I'm going to be gone for 4 days from Wodapalooza. My wife's going to kill me anyway. Like, oh yeah,
4-star general. 4-star general. Call me when there's a 4-star general.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I mean, that's the hard part is logistics. You know, hey Hill, I'm going to leave one day after I got back from Wodapalooza, and you've got the kids by yourself again.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good conversation.
How does that go for anyone?
Senior got it.
Yeah.
My hubby. Oh, so Trish does have a vagina? That's
we
so
don't
weird.
know. We don't know. That's throwing us off.
My hubby eats. I always thought this was a guy. My hubby eats powdered elk antler to stay virile. Thanks for the tip, Rich. Oh, he's just fucking with you. Meaning you eat the antler to get your dick hard is what he said.
Hey, well, I haven't tried it.
AZZ 1999. Love watching all of your growth in the sport of CrossFit, all you do with your multiple businesses, your support for first responders, military and police, and thank you for sharing your faith and your many videos of your life.
Thanks, AZZ.
I thought that was for me. Wad Zombie, I started CrossFit because of Rich. Thank you for everything you've done for the community.
Thanks, man.
Holy shit, this is just endless.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we had to catch up here.
I'm not complaining. Julian Ifford, hope your team wins next weekend. How is Haley progressing in her strength gains?
Haley's doing awesome.
That's a $20 question. You don't got to answer it.
Yeah.
Haley's doing awesome. She's got her head right. She's having fun. She's fun to be around. So I'm looking forward to letting everybody see kind of what she's put in the hard work. So it's been good. Been real good.
Going back to Jake here, this programming piece has to be, I mean, it's got to be one of the most important pieces, right? For the Mayhem Empire brand, right? I mean, this is, it's the most forward-facing thing that people interact with, right?
Yeah, it's definitely the largest part of our business. It's something that I enjoy probably the most as well. Just sitting down and writing workouts or torture or whatever it is, and so. Jake, like I said, he's kind of been since the beginning, really, the beginning of, I guess, our growth. It's been such a different over the last, 8 or 10 years. In the beginning, there was, I always joke, we were joking about to these kids. Like, I keep thinking that I'm the same age as most of these kids that are around here, and they're all 10, 12 years younger than me. And I'm like, back in my day, the only cardio we had was a rower and a barbell and your body weight. And so, it's trying to learn and stay ahead of, or at least caught up with, the changes in the sport, the demands of the sport. And, because we learned kind of the hard way of what not to do, but I probably wouldn't change that. And so it's been cool to, Jake's a PT, so physical therapist. He doesn't practice anymore, but he still has the schooling and a couple years of, I think he practiced for 2 or 3 years before we were like, hey, we really need you to kind of let that go and be the face or, take on more of Mayhem athlete. And so he's done that, but he can see it from a different angle where I'm, just, hey, we need to keep doing this. And I get stuck in my tendencies. So it's good to have somebody with a 30,000 foot view that can, I invite the guys and girls I work for to kind of challenge what I'm saying or what I'm doing. Hey, we need to do something different. And, I may not always agree, but I try to be pretty objective with that.
It's just, I don't mean to just keep jerking Jake off, but just Jake's
a smart guy. Jake's very, very smart.
It would be hard to argue against that. the programming he's doing is not the most prestigious and most used programming in the CrossFit space. Him and Darren. I don't want to leave Darren out. Obviously, he's been there with you since the beginning. But it's just crazy that he's so under the radar. You know what I mean? You have Ben Bergeron, Max El-Haj, Matt Fraser. You have all of these people with programming, you know, for sale. But here's the guy doing Mayhems. I mean, I don't know how many fucking athletes did you guys have at the games last year? Over 60, right? 58.
There's a bunch of us, yep.
And it's amazing that he's got under the radar. When someone's like told me, this is the guy that did the Mayhem program, I'm like, I thought for sure he would say no. I thought like maybe he was avoiding any spotlight.
Yeah, no, Jake. I don't know. I think, you know, Jake does a ton of it. But kind of the beauty of what we have around here is we've got a bunch of really good athletes that, you know, hey, here's a workout I've done. Hey, here's something that I've done. We've got
so he'll come in there and get stuff off the board. You're saying if you write something on the board, he'll walk in there and take some notes.
Yeah, for sure. It's a very kind of programming by committee. You know, hey, I did this workout. Jake, you know, he might something that we've done that wasn't necessarily a compete workout or whatever, and you know, we might change it a little bit post, or it's a pretty collective kind of table committee programming. Jake definitely puts it into a package, if that makes sense. So
at the end of the day, when it goes out forward facing to the world, it's
Jake's making sure that it's, hey, we're not doubling up on squats and, you know, whatever it is, we're trying to keep it varied as much as possible. But yeah, it's you got a bunch of people around here and a bunch of different kind of weaknesses and different things to work on. So you have a pretty good pool to test your workouts in. And so it's very committee based. And like I said, Jake is definitely the one that's making sure it all looks right when it goes out the door. But there's a lot of people around here that are doing a lot of things as well.
Rich better stop by and get a CEO shirt at Wodapalooza. If you go by what size are you, Rich? We're only making large.
XL. Oh, sorry.
Oh, he's screwed.
We'll make him a specialty. We got to rephrase that. If Rich would please grace us with his presence, not better.
Not he better come.
Not he better come. That's
better
a little
come.
aggressive. Yeah, he better come.
Gen G, I think he answered the question. I don't know what kind of money this is. MX, are you involved in the program or just sign it? I think he answered that, but you want to take another swing at it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm very involved. You know, it's not like like I said, me, Jake, and then kind of the group of athletes. We all, like I said, are testing and making sure everything. Like I said, Jake is definitely the one kind of packaging it and making sure it all comes out the door the right way. But it's like what's Rich doing is literally what I'm doing. So you might see some tendencies there for sure. But like I said, Jake's seen 10 years of my programming, and so we have very similar tendencies and very similar ideas and things. But you know,
that's
Jake's
the trust piece.
Yeah,
that's the trust piece.
Jake's very analytical and you know, kind of dives into, all right, what did we see this year? What do we need to change? And it's good. You know, like I said, I have my tendencies, he has his, and everybody does. You know, you got the things you like or things you think that work, and you have to be very objective and make sure that, hey, those things don't always work.
Would you, in these videos that I watch of you, in every video, there's inevitably a scene where it's like you and Guy and Tyler Christoval standing around a board and you're writing some stuff, and then you look to someone who's maybe off camera and you're like 3 or 6, and then they say 6 and you write 6, and then someone else next to you says, no, I think it's 4. And then you guys talk. After one of those is up, would it be uncharacteristic of you to take a picture and just send it over to Jake? Like, does stuff like that happen? Oh, here's the picture of the board today. I just wanted you to, here you go.
So we have a shared note, and everything we do goes into that note.
That's an app. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It's just on your Apple phone, you know, like a note.
Okay.
That's shared with 6 or 8 of us, and that's what goes on there. And so, every workout comes from that, and
So it truly is collaborative. Wow, that's really cool.
And Jake is here. You know, he'll walk in from time to time. His office is just down the hall. He trains here, you know, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. He's doing that 75 hard, so he's here all day too. And so, it's it's kind of the way it goes. What are you guys doing? You know, and that's what happens.
Stefan Myers, $5. Thank you,
$5. Thanks, Stefan.
You're a great dude. Wodapalooza with Samuel Cornwallis.
Sam and Tyler.
And Tyler.
Goal is to not be the weakest link on the team. I've tried to get out of it 35 times and to no avail. I even tried a couple weeks ago to be like, hey, I really think Angelo should do this. And Angelo couldn't get off work, and then it was too late to switch him out. So, yep, you're going to see. I was dealing with the shoulder thing I rehabbed pretty hard for about 8 weeks, and just, general fitness kind of went to the wayside for a little while, and nothing super heavy. And so we'll see. I'm gonna try not to make a jackass out of myself and, ruin my legacy and the Mayhem name. That's the goal here.
So it's a bit of a testing ground.
Yeah. It's gonna be for fun, as much as it can be. Wodapalooza for me, man, is such a toss up. It's an incredible atmosphere. The fans are awesome. The stages and stuff, but with the programming and the stuff like that, at times it gets a little, quirky at times. And so try to have as much fun. Wodapalooza's notably never been a really good competition for me. I think we've been there 4 or 5 times. We did win once, but it's just been so trying to have some fun with it. And but we all know I don't have a ton of fun unless we're winning. So
can you do that? Can you actually turn off the competitive side and legitimately in your mind be like, I'm having fun, and completely ignore it? Because I find it impossible for you. Like you'd say that and it would still kind of irk you at the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to go into it to have a little bit more fun, but we'll see. It's I look back on last year and Luke and Angelo, and I'm like, that was a good time. In the midst of it, it sucked and I hated it and I wanted to kill everyone. But it's fun now. Like, so that's what I'm trying to remember. I don't know how many more big moments on the floor I'll have. So, try to cherish those as long as I can.
Have you given Brent a key to the barn yet?
It's under the mat, but I haven't told him which mat.
Right. Okay, good. Fair enough. That he's a smart guy. He's the smartest guy in the business. He will figure it out.
Professor, right?
Yes.
Of what?
Of everything.
No.
Life.
Of CrossFit. Yes.
Gotcha.
So you had a couple tears in your rotator cuff. When I think of that, what the rotator cuff is, I'm just thinking it's like a something that's under your shoulder, I guess.
You've got 4 muscles in your shoulder that basically help stabilize, work. There's just a lot of things in there. So I had a couple tears in my supraspinatus, and then I can't remember if subscap or infraspinatus. One of them had a tear, and then one had tendinosis in it. And so
which just means it's irritated.
It's basically beyond tendinitis. And so the supraspinatus, it wasn't like fully detached from the bone, but there's some like near full thickness tear. Like if you read the MRI, but I guarantee you look at anything in anybody's shoulder and they're gonna be all jacked up. So basically you talk to a PT and they're like, yeah, I can fix it. You talk to a surgeon and they're like, yeah, we can fix that. And so I tried to go the route of PT, and it's I'd say 90%. Today we kind of picked the movements that we were doing for the 1 rep or the max event that's come out for teams. That's the only thing we really know. And so, like I said, I'm tried to hit an overhead squat, which I haven't in a while. I ended up hitting, I think, around 300. So it's still relatively there. Overhead squat used to be one of my stronger movements. So for 3, if I can get above 300 and not, like I said, look like some kind of jackass on the floor, I'll be all right.
Wow. Someone asked you in one of those videos, you can barely hear, but someone says, hey, Rich, when was the last time you were healthy? And you're lying on the ground doing some stretch and you say 2010.
Yeah.
Is that the last time you've competed without a ding?
Yeah. I mean, I think CrossFit, as general physical preparedness in an affiliate can and is safe. Obviously you've got inherent risks no matter what you do. But it's a pretty safe if you can let go of your ego and stuff. But any competition, if you're doing anything professionally, if you're pushing the limits of anything, it's not safe. And what we do is, I've gambled with my body for 14 years and paying the price, and it is what it is. And that was on me. And so that's where we're at.
Sevan's deadlift isn't even 300. That is correct. That is 100%. What do you have a camera in my garage? How would you possibly know that? But that is right. That's weird that he knows that.
Got him.
Rich, this is really concerning, and I heard this in a video, and I'm sorry to bring it up to you. This is really, I save it. I have had you I've already made a couple $100 off you, so I'll ask you the hard question. You've reached an age where you don't like roller coasters. I was fuck.
No. I do like roller coasters. I love roller coasters.
I can't stand them. I'm 50, so I'm with you. I'm glad you're hurting.
I love the thrill, but my stomach is just like, no, we can't do this anymore. And I went on one with Lakeland 2 years ago, and it was like a loop. I came out of the loop, and I blacked out for a second, like full on, like night, wake back up. And so at that moment, I knew I was old.
That's how I felt since I've been 13.
I mean, I don't have that switch like that you shouldn't do that. My body's like, or my mind is like, no, you can do that no matter what. Like I don't get any rush from skydiving, any of that. Like I need that adrenaline. And so I like that side of the roller coasters, but my stomach is just like, hey, no, we're done here. You can't do this. You're old. And so it's very disheartening. Any
signs of like vertigo or anything like that? Like where your head doesn't feel good, like for 20 minutes after you ride one?
No, it's just the stomach. It's just like uneasy, like car sickness type deal. Or I guess, I don't know if I've really I would assume this is what car sickness would feel like, but it's just kind of uneasy, Well, I threw up on a fair ride when I was 13. I threw up on my buddy, who then threw up on my other buddy, who then threw up. It was like that scene in
Serious?
Sandlot.
The Family Guy?
Sandlot. Yep.
It's a train reaction of throwing up.
Oh, it was just puke on puke on puke. So
Audrey, who is probably 4'11" and 98 pounds, says her deadlift isn't 300 pounds either. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I feel better. Okay, so roller coasters. You're still doing CrossFit, but roller coasters are on their way out.
Yeah, I'm off limits.
This is a serious question. It may not seem serious, but why not find another like Hunter McIntyre
another
is
hobby?
Like, yeah. Well, hear me out here.
Yeah.
Not just a hobby, something that you can obsess about. Hunter McIntyre is doing that narrow. Well, not just hunting. I got a sport.
No, I got another one. Keep going.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
What is it? Tell me.
Mountain biking. Yeah, no, I'm in mountain biking. So I'm gonna do the Leadville 100 this year.
With the intention of like a good time.
I want one of the big belt buckles. The problem is it's the week after the games, and if I do decide, and if I am healthy and do the Masters competition, I'm gonna have to simultaneously train for Leadville, which is no easy task, and the CrossFit Games at the same time. So we'll see.
Can you pull up that? Oh, here we go.
It's the mountain bike version, not the run. My knee would just turn into dust. I'd look like the guy, the T-1000 on Terminator 2 when he goes through the nitrogen. That would be me if I had to run 100 miles.
Is this it? The Stages Cycling Leadville Trail 100 MTB, August 12th, 2023. This is it. The race of all races, 100 miles across the high altitude extreme terrain of Colorado Rockies. This event was created for only the most determined athletes. Is that you?
Yeah. I think so. I think I qualify there.
Starting at 10,152 feet. Are you fucking kidding me? And climbing to 12,424 feet, you'll be challenged to catch your breath.
Yeah, so the idea is to kind of do a simultaneous training for the games at the same time video series. We're looking at, there's a 5-day or 4-day stage race in North Carolina in April. And then there's the 24-hour mountain bike that we do in Amarillo in June, and then culminating with that at the end.
This is totally different than what I was thinking. I was thinking, have you already qualified for the event in the lottery?
So we're partnering with a charity in Mayhem Mission, and so that's the plan, is to do it with that charity. And I need to look up the charity, but we're partnering with Mayhem Mission.
And how many competitors?
I honestly, I'm not sure. There's 3 of us that are going to do it. One of my buddies, Dave Curtis, who I elk hunt with, and then Michael Arthur, who's on our board with Mayhem Mission.
Crazy. Oh, wait, let me see what they have. They have Coca-Cola at the aid stations. Let me see that. Let me see that. Let me see what they got at the aid stations. They have water. Oh, Guy will be at the way stations cheering you on. Coca-Cola products, fruit, cookies, potato chips, and salty snacks.
Good to go.
All good stuff.
If any of the other If any of the riders want a boost in their testosterone or salty snack, you can just lick Rich's neck. There will be plenty of both.
There'll be plenty of sweat on that neck.
On that neck. I was seriously going to say, why not this sport pickleball has exploded.
I do like pickleball. Pickleball is pretty fun. We've got, I haven't went full into it, but I enjoy it. I still like to play flag football. Kids are getting to the age where they're going to start playing sports though. So Trice wants to play baseball this year. Lakeland she's really into gymnastics, but also wants to cheer. And I told her she could do any tumbling, any prep to get ready for cheer, but I will not do any cheer competitions until when she can make that decision in high school. But I'm not putting my daughter in some outfit and makeup at 8 years old. I won't do it.
Dude, that stuff is intense too. We have a cheerleading gym across the street from my gym, directly across the street. Yep. And it's the best one I think in the state. And they are out there till 10 o'clock, and it is nuts. It also probably costs around $40,000 a year to go to that.
I'll support her to have the base that she needs when she gets there, but we're not doing it to where you're going to these shows and all that stuff. I just won't do it.
Because of the premium put on aesthetics, because of that the whole makeup and all that shit.
100%. She's incredibly athletic. The kid, she went to 2 or 3 tumbling classes, and she came out, could do back handspring to back tuck, and she's 8. Within 1 or 2, the instructor was like, "Hey, we want her to cheer." And I was like, "Sorry, kid, not happening."
She'll cheer for the cheer team.
That's right. Cheer on.
Yeah. So, and she'll be riding her motorcycle over there.
That's right. She can ride her dirt bike. She's got her dirt bike, and so it's fun.
Manny Serrano, $10. Just joined the Mayhem's Masters program. If I win the 10K, I will be donating a percentage to this podcast. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, Manny. Awesome.
Love it, Manny.
That's don't they wear makeup for gymnastics competition? Don't question Rich.
She's not doing gymnastics. She's not even doing the competitions. She's going to the classes.
Yeah, just the class. Yeah.
Physical activity.
I saw this when I was Googling your name this morning.
Uh-oh.
I saw this. Is this people just selling shit that they shouldn't be selling? It's the theme this week of stealing trademarks. It's on a website called Redbubble. And I'm guessing. No, it's not you.
That's not us.
So that's just someone taking they can't do that, right?
Can't you do anything nowadays?
Right. Okay. Don't buy from them.
Haven't we figured out in 2023 that you can do whatever the hell you want to?
Yeah.
Literally. That's crazy though. They took that thing and then, man, I remember the first time someone ripped off one of my images and made a shirt. It just really grind my gears.
That was John Travolta when he was a kid. That wasn't you, Sousa. For Rich's PT, so he can win Masters. Michelle Shanks.
Oh, hey, thanks.
Rich, when you have someone like Guy who let me ask you this. Is Guy an amazing Olympic lifter?
Guy is an amazing athlete all around, but yeah.
And do you glean, when you see someone in there like that and you're watching them, do you glean things from them? Like if you see something about his foot position or where he pulls, or do you sense yourself like, okay, I need to plagiarize that, or I'm going to try that?
I think my body's too old to get into those positions that he can get into. I mean, I would love to be as, mobile. I mean, I'm still decently mobile, I guess, for a 35-year-old that has no cartilage in their knees, but Guy's an impressive. It's just, you just watch him and you're like, damn, that's all I got,
Mm-hmm.
I can't even, it just looks so effortless. It's so fluid. It's awesome. Not like fluid back and forth. It's just,
So when you refine movement, it's probably more for sustainability and longevity and not performance. You're like, hey, that hurts. I need to figure out a way to fix that. Not, hey, I need to fix that so I can lift more weight.
No, definitely. I mean, there's still my problem is I'm really good at compensating. And that's kind of what's happened over the years of all right, my body is good at trying to figure out a way around an injury where I should just attack the injury in a kind of a healthy way where I'm like, shoulder hurts. Now I'm going to put it in this position and go around for a press and then, put too much pressure on supraspinatus or whatever it is. So I'm trying to do a little bit more accessory type stuff. I still do a ton of efficiency. How can I, speed something up, do on the minute touch and go type 135 movements. I brought those back in recently just to build some fitness back and build a base and some volume. But I don't know why. Hillary the other day was like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, it's what I know how to do. I don't feel like I need to do it, but it's the only thing I'm good at. So I just keep doing it.
Aaron, thank you. Oh, Aaron, I think we started the show with your YouTube comment.
Super.
Is that yours? Yeah, I don't know what that is, but that's Canadian money. That's good shit.
Oh wow. Is it what is that, like 80%?
I don't know.
I don't even know anymore.
It's good though.
What's Trudeau done to that?
Right. Well, it's virus free. That money's healthy.
Yeah, that is. It's
been washed.
It's interesting to me that you and Hillary have those conversations. Did you hear one of the things, and I believe this wholeheartedly, Liver King was saying that, hey, he was working out all the time. We know he was a CrossFitter. He did a bunch of CrossFit competitions. He said basically he was working out for his mental health, that basically, insecure guy, and he even said that he was concerned that he had a little back fat. When you hear shit like that from a guy like that, you're like, okay, there's some sort of image issue. Yep. Yeah, something's going on. And he was getting so juiced up and so big that he didn't even look human anymore. Like I think the vast majority of people probably don't find that attractive, or except maybe other men who have those mental issues.
Right.
And then he said that he wanted to get on steroids. He was working out twice a day as hard as he could, and he got on steroids so that he could maintain working that out. And that makes sense to me, like around that mental illness, right?
Mm-hmm.
But instead of then dealing with the mental illness, he started working out 3 times a day, right? He's basically self-medicating.
Yeah,
and
I think
by no means am I suggesting you have a mental illness, but it is, at least for me and most of the people I know who do CrossFit, it is a form of self-medication.
Right. Yeah. I 1000% think, I have an addictive personality. There's some substance abuse issues that run in my family. And I just think that I found a different substance to abuse. The last couple of years, I've kind of come to terms with that. I've not fixed it, but you're
aware of it. That's the first step.
At least it's made me, it's made me successful. One could say I picked something to have a good self. I look back at the more and more I've, the older you get, the more introspective you get, and you're like, all right, so when I was a kid, it was sports, and whatever sport I was playing, that was kind of my obsession. And then I moved on to firefighting, and then from there, CrossFit. And so plug in whatever you want to, but yeah, there's definitely, I think all probably high-end athletes have some type of substance abuse, and that's kind of how we medicate.
When you did 4 years of varsity baseball in high school, so that means as a freshman you were on the varsity baseball team.
My freshman year, the head coach at that time would not allow freshmen on varsity, so he shipped us off, and we had our own freshman league, which was incredible. We got to play every single game, and it wasn't even JV; it was like a completely separate league. And so I got a ton of playing time and did that. But yeah, the next 3 years were all varsity.
And were you obsessed with baseball then?
1000%. Yeah. Like that's all I thought about. I would stay after, and that's kind of where I found working out too, was like, all right, how do I get better at baseball? I work out. And, you're in high school, and I think every guy and girl in high school has some type of body image issue, and you start working out let's be honest, everybody starts working out because you want to look better. Like
right. You're trying to attract mates. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then I would still say and argue that I have some body image issue. Like we look at each other, or you look at yourself in the mirror, like, damn, like that's not, that's kind of what keeps you motivated. It is what it is. Like,
you don't need to tell me that, Rich. I live in that space. I don't even see you guys when I look at the computer screen. I'm looking at yourself. Yes, the whole time. Yes.
Yeah, and it is what it is, and as long as I'm not like hypercritical of myself to where I'm going to go like but I guess you could say my working out is my way to deal with that as well.
Well, also your vocation.
Yeah,
is you, and to be honest, I think everyone has appreciated. Let's face it. Before there was a Liver King, you never wore a shirt. You never wear a fucking shirt.
I sweat a lot. I have to go through like 8 shirts if I wore a shirt all day.
It's just too much laundry. It's really just
It really
an
is.
economic thing.
Hey,
you know?
I'm being a conservationist, you know?
That's right.
I'm stopping. It's not global warming. What is it now? Climate change.
Climate change. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing your part.
I'm doing
Lowering
my
his
part.
footprint. There.
Lowering
You know
my footprint. That's right.
I have to say this along those lines that there is, I saw this article recently that there's 14% more vegetation on planet Earth today than there was 10 years ago because of the increase in CO2, which sounds like a good thing to me.
It makes sense to me. I'm not a scientist.
More you go, thank God. That means you can think clearly.
You got that?
Rich,
You get
what
that?
about
I'm not a scientist.
years ago, there was this kind of, I don't want to say it was a movement, but there were these gyms, there were these things popping up where Christians didn't want to work out with their shirt on. I don't want to say it was
Shirt on or shirt off?
Shirt off.
Graham
I don't want to
Holberg
say it was,
gym?
maybe it was great. No, I'm okay with the gym, maybe. But
Like
did you ever have did you ever have any conflict with working out with your shirt off in your faith? Anything that it said in the Bible? No. Okay. Fuck that. Don't even let me plant that seed in your head. God forbid I do something that causes you to put your shirt back on. What about any fitness goals in CrossFit? Are those at 35?
Those days are gone, bro.
They are.
Yeah.
So you're in, John Brzenk, the world's greatest arm wrestler, told me this one time when he was about 35, he goes, "Hey dude, I'm in maintenance mode."
Maintenance.
So you're not going for a max deadlift, a new PR in your mile time. You have none of those.
No, I mean, each day is different, you know, like how the programming or what I'm doing, whatever workout I'm doing is affecting me differently than I was in 2014. Like I look back and I'm like, how the hell did I snatch 300 plus pounds in 2014? Like it seems so foreign to me, and I don't ever touch anything more than 245, 255. And then at whatever, it's not regionals. What was it? Semifinals last year, I hit 275. Fine. I'm like, all right, maybe I could if I needed to, but I just don't need to. Like it's almost in a weird state of like, I almost hate the place I'm in where I'm like, okay with that. But it's also like, I think I have to be in that place or I will wreck myself. Like I can't at some point, like, yeah, I want to keep hanging out with these kids and working out at the same rate. But at some point it's like, hey, I can't lift a heavy barbell multiple times a day because it beats me up way different than it does, you know, Guy, who's, you know, a different athlete, and then way younger and way less miles. Like even if I'm 35, I'm a high mileage one, or you know, high mileage. So it's a little different. So I'm just trying to, man, and it's hard. It is hard to like, I'd be lying if I was, you know, okay with it. Like there's days where I'm like, you're a bitch, you know, like, and there's days where I'm like, hey, you did pretty good today. So it's been tough. And that's the hard part with competing with Tyler and Sam. Like, I'm the old man on the team and I just don't want to hold everybody back.
Well, you said something really smart in the video. I don't think you're holding anyone back. You said something really smart in the video. And I like your videos too, because you got to be really listening to catch these, but I'm not sure how much you're about to lift, but you say, hey, I'm not about to fuck up. You don't use fuck up. You said, I'm not about to mess up my last 10 weeks of work, meaning then I can figure out from there, okay, he's obviously been healing and he's not about to do something stupid in training to derail the train. So it sounds like you're smart.
You know, the older you get, a little smarter you get, but it also is with, you know, I know what's going to happen to my body if I keep, you know, trying to push in certain ways where I don't need to push.
Trish, I don't know if this is a boy or a girl, by the way. Rich, do you feel that fans still think of you as 2014 Rich when you meet them? Is that
I am still 2014 Rich. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, here's the thing, Trish. Here's the thing that I was tripping on. These fucking people, these new athletes don't even know Rich the way we know him. I know. It is
I'm just a shell of a human being at this point.
Here's why. Like think of Olivia Kerstetter. Emma Lawson. They're 17. They were 7.
Crazy.
7. Haley was, I'm like, do you remember the movie Angels in the Outfield where it's got like Danny Glover in it. It has
old school movie.
I can see the poster. I can see the poster.
You need to see the poster, but there's a scene in there where like this pitcher got traded to them and he can't pitch anymore. His shoulder's all jacked up or whatever. And the kid walks up to him and he's like, "That's Mel Clark." And the other kid goes, "You used to be Mel Clark?" That's what I feel like. Like you used to be Rich Froning. I'm like, yeah, kid. I used to be. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like Matthew McConaughey's in that movie, but yeah, it's definitely like I used to be Rich Froning, you know.
I hope Hiller sees this and uses it in a video trolling you. God,
he should, because it's real. You know, I'm like, man, I used to be.
Beat it, kid.
Beat it, kid.
Hey, when I was doing the podcast for a second with Matt and Josh, I saw a comment in the YouTube once. It said, "Why are Matt and Josh doing this podcast with this old guy? Who is this?" And it's because I hadn't been around in 3 years, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" In 3 years, they just fucking.
Dude, it's what can you do for me lately? That's the world we live in. So
100%. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not hating. It's okay. I get it.
It is what it is, man. That's where we're at.
It is pretty crazy though. I titled in the thumbnail for this podcast, I said the last needle mover. It is really nuts how much you move the needle. I mean, I don't think that there's anyone close to what you do. Are you aware of that? Like how much? I mean,
I think
we can't get a podcast with more than 10,000 views. We made a clip with you and it shot up over 100,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
I think I just hit it at the right time, honestly. You know, like it was about perfect. You know, one thing I was probably one of the last, you know, there's still some of us that hang around like Panchik and Smith that are gym owners and grew up with the community, if that makes sense. Like we're at a spot now with the sport and there's nothing wrong with it. It is what it is. It's the sport, but none of these kids go to a gym really, you know, they're part of their training camp or they train in their garage or train by themselves. Like I do miss a little bit of that. But it has to be different. Like if you want it to be a professional sport, you got to treat it like a professional sport. But I think back in my day, you know, we were part of the community. Not to say that these athletes aren't part of the community. It's just a different time. We're in a different time and just different. So
yeah.
Were you going to say it? Think about Dave?
Yeah. Go ahead, Susan. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Dave just brought up a really great point. Like I've made the joke a couple times, and I called you the people's champ. It's because you were so invested in everything. Like you were at the L1s, you had the red shirt, you were showing up at other gyms, you were involved in a lot of the charity stuff, and you were still competing at the highest level.
Free videos on .com, endless free videos on .com, owned the affiliate. I mean, just all the shit. You did it all.
Did it all.
As cheesy as it sounds, CrossFit is the community. Like that's what makes what's different. Like if we're one, we trim it down. Like CrossFit just stole a bunch of other good shit and put it together, but it's the community that makes it so good and how awesome it is. And I want to see that continue, even with what happened with the mothership or whatever you want to call it. Now that it's like, we still can, even if they're going to keep shitting it up, then we can still, as the community, can still keep it together. Like no matter where I go, different country, different place, it's the same type of people. And for me, I want to try to maintain that as long as we can. Like CrossFit, the methodology I think is incredible, but the community side of it is what makes it and what brings people back.
100%.
Would you ever take a leadership position on the mothership?
I don't know.
Maybe like in charge of growth or something like that.
Hey, let me ask you this. If I would have asked you this 5 years ago,
yes,
you probably would have said no.
Oh, well, if you go back, like, I don't even know what 5 years ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago, absolutely, 1,000%. And then now the way we are and kind of the way they are, like, I don't want to say we're on parallels whatsoever. Like everybody knows what CrossFit is ahead of what Mayhem is, but I have an incredible team here that have common, values, and we can change our community, which is part of the greater CrossFit community. And I don't want to sound like, I have control. Like I've got a good team that they have just as much control.
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
You know what I mean? Like I don't, and not to say that CrossFit's too far gone. It's not. I don't think that, but it's just I'm happy where I'm at. I'm 100% with where we're at.
I do think that what the company is missing is a figurehead. Mm-hmm. And that they need someone who's like repeating what the vision is,
right?
Saying constantly varied functions.
I just don't know what the vision is at this point. That's the hard part.
You do. Oh. You're doing it at Mayhem. I mean, you have the people who've lost 100 pounds. You've had the guy who had the heart attack in the gym, and you've had the champs. I mean,
we have 83-year-old at the gym, 84-year-old at this point. That's CrossFit to me. Like we have this life class. We have is longevity and functional efficiency. It's not as scary as CrossFit, but it is CrossFit. They're all 50 plus, and they're grinding just as hard as some of these athletes in here, and they freaking love it. That to me is awesome.
I guess I think the company needs is someone who really believes in it, just speaking nonstop to the base, right? So, and not worried about what anyone else thinks. And I think we had that in Greg, and I think we had that in Dave. Yep. And Dave was never really given the opportunity to completely open his wings. Right. But yeah.
Yeah, we got to be okay with ourselves. We got to be okay with, hey, like CrossFit is for everybody, but not everybody is for CrossFit, if that makes sense. Like, hey,
yes,
you know, like I 1,000% think that everybody out on the street would benefit from doing CrossFit, but they're not all going to do CrossFit, and that's okay. We've got to be okay and stop fighting everybody and be like, hey, if you're doing some type of fitness, then let's go. You know, that's what matters.
Right. So. And when they say it's for white supremacists, we have to just let it bounce off.
Let it go. I saw that article too. What is going on? What is going on in this world?
That same newspaper said that the New York Times said that if you want to help the environment, you should breed with shorter men. Because we consume less resources.
Less all right.
Yes.
Giving some love to the short kings out there.
Touche.
2022, Rich is so chilled. We all watched the Lions game at Legends Championships instead of watching CrossFit couch Froning now.
We did. We watched the Lions Vikings game. It's big time, you know, like we don't get to play meaningful games in November. Chill out.
Steve Flores, which year would you say you were the fittest?
Probably 2019. 2000. Yeah.
Oh, that breaks my fucking heart. You were team already. God damn it.
Yeah, I would say 15, 16. I had a little issue in 17 with my knee, 17, 18 with my knee, and then 19. I was pretty fit in 19. All around, you know, like everybody wants to complain and talk about my swimming and running, but back then you didn't really specialize in swimming and running to that point.
Almost like the team competition wasn't enough for you. Like you were like waiting for the team, just like,
no, heck no. Like I loved it. But no, I'm just saying at that point, that was probably my healthiest / fittest year. We worked hard. That was me, Dre, Tasia. And then probably the last 2 years I've been healthy-ish and pretty fit.
He's still 2014 Rich to me. Oh, come on. Let him get old. Don't hold. I still eat Uncrustables with the kids, you know. Those out of the freezer are good. Are you talking about the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that are like already made? And that's horrible, Rich.
It is horrible, but it goes right through. Like it is not staying long.
That is,
you know, like it's not staying long enough to really defile my intestines or go through my body. Like it
can't do much damage.
No, I'm like the metabolism is just going straight through that.
Do you think are you good at pickleball? Do you think you could become great at pickleball?
I think I'm a pretty decent athlete. My hard part is like I'm really good cutting to my right, but this left knee, depending on the day, is pretty achy. And so cutting to my left is the hard part at this point. Like some days are touch and go.
You think you could be like world class?
I don't know. I don't even know what world class pickleball looks like.
Yeah, neither do I. But it seems to be all the hype.
It is all the hype, isn't it?
Do you have a favorite machine? Do you use a lat pull down machine or a leg press, or do you have any machines you fool around on?
Oh yeah, we use lat pull down, seated row, that type of stuff.
Not leg extension.
Not leg. I stay away. There was.
I heard you say it. That's the only reason why I know.
I got corrected in the YouTube comments. Apparently, the studies have found that is not true. That does not cause more shear on the knee. So maybe I might start doing this. I don't know. We'll see.
There should be another Instagram account. Trust, not what would Rich do, but trust Rich.
Trust Rich.
Hey, Rich, advice to stop chasing for game spots. Being super competitive in the sport is addictive, but some people just can't make it. Chasing a spot for 5 or 6 years, for example, and then masters and so on. I'm not sure.
Have fun. I don't really know what the question is in there. Like, yeah, you're getting caught up in, chasing the game spot. I think it's just enjoy the process. If you enjoy working out, start out with it being fun. Like, if you're not doing it for a profession, then don't stress about it. But like, I think Pat Sherwood said it best, that it was like, it should be the best hour of your day, not an added stress and something you're like not looking forward to. So I think a lot of people get caught up in that. And I'm not saying don't have goals and don't, strive towards something. But it should be fun. CrossFit's fun. Like if you really get back to it and do it, and have that mentality, then it's pretty fun. There's a lot of things to get good at, and there's a lot of different things that, you can change up, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, and that mentality too is great, just to have fun with it, because you see so many people, I'm sure you've seen it, especially at Mayhem, where they come in and they have all these aspirations to compete, and they just dive in head
everybody
first.
wants to do.
Dude, and then they burn out like 3 or 4 months later. They hate it, and then they don't even do it anymore, and they put all this pressure for double sessions and getting in all their work, and you're like, dude, just have. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, for the first year, just have a good time.
Just have a good time and learn how to move well.
And then after that, as you start to develop your skills and everything else, you can advance it. But until then, just have a good time. Lay that foundation.
For sure.
God, there's so many freaking people watching. Can you come on every day?
We'll just have to put
they
a
wouldn't
picture
watch.
up of
They
them.
wouldn't watch as much if I came on every day.
Right. Patrick Thompson, favorite early CrossFit Games moment. The MC of the games was Travis Bajent hyping out the crowd when Rich was about to finish first in the event heat.
The good old days, right?
Yeah.
I do want to figure out a way to get you and Tyson together. I do want to get Tyson out there.
I'd love to have him up here
to Cookeville. I'll send you a text later on and tell you some of the crazy stuff, because he's thrown his last pass, and he signed with an agent, and there's already just crazy shit happening.
Dude, NIL is insane. I love that the players are getting to make some money off their name. I do not like the current state of college football at the moment, where kids can transfer on a whim and they're making, I did not like it before that, where they were not making any money off their name. Like that was wrong, but we got to figure something out. So,
he's done now. He's going to the draft. He's going to the Senior Bowl.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So he's ready to go.
But it's crazy because he's Division II. The last time a Division II quarterback got drafted into the NFL was 1996. The last time an NFL player was drafted from his college was 1960. But I think this kid's going to go in the first round, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
And he is really God. He reminds me of the 2014 version of you, just in his his demeanor. He's so well put together. He's not worried about winning. He's interested in showcasing his talents.
You said he's a good kid, so like I said, doors always open for good kids.
Yeah, and a true CrossFitter.
Love it.
Yeah, true CrossFitter through and through. And obviously, his dad is our friend. I'm so happy for Travis. I've rekindled the friendship with Travis just to get his son on my show. Did I say that out loud?
He is special, though. That's for sure.
That's awesome.
Two things left.
Gotcha.
You have to pee. I noticed you're wiggling around in your chair.
No,
I got
about 10. I got my hour limit.
Yeah, he's getting movie.
I always assumed that the tattoo with the scripture,
6:14.
The Galatians 6:14 was in regards to the loss of your cousins when you were a young man.
Mm-mm.
And recently I heard on a podcast that came about because of the rope climb incident.
Yep.
And it's so fucking crazy that I didn't know that.
Well, I've got the other two. The one on my tricep is for my cousin, man, who's just the other day was 15 years since he passed. And then my grandma. And then the other one on my shoulder was from my other cousin, Donnie's brother. And then in 2011, that's where the side tattoo came from. And it was basically just to like, hey, doesn't matter what you do. It's not about you. And so it's a daily reminder to keep me humble and that it's about Christ. And for me, my faith is such a huge part of why I do what I do. And over the years, my faith is always going to be first and foremost. And now adding in having the kids and what they see and making sure that they can see that, as they say, hard work pays off. And so
I've heard that.
And so it's just a reminder to, hey, you're not that cool.
Oh shit. We just got a text from
awesome.
The lawyers.
Trademark.
Yeah. Cut that part.
Sorry.
Sorry. Okay.
I checked my phone. I was like, what? Quick.
Hey, and what is it? What is the
May I never boast in anything except for the cross of the Lord Jesus Christ, which has been crucified to me and I to the world.
Meaning that you should be celebrating. The only thing you should be celebrating or take, if you have to take pride in something, take pride in the fact
Yeah, like for me, and so long, I was talking about baseball and firefighting. For me, those things had become identity to me and who I was. And CrossFit,
which is cool as a kid, right? That's okay.
Cool as a kid,
right?
and well, identity, and you put so much for me, and what I believe, you put so much into worldly things and things of this world, and they're always going to kind of let you down. And
right.
so
okay.
for me, it's about faith and what I believe Jesus did for us and for our souls, and it's really about that, and not about like I can fail. I'm not going to enjoy the failure and being a part of that, but knowing that I'm going to be okay, because I believe that, there's a better place after this.
Right. What was harder? So going back to the baseball thing, when you didn't go after your senior year, did you want to become a professional baseball player?
100%. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. And then I had a girlfriend back here, and if we're being 100% honest, I was like, got homesick and came back here after being up there for a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's interesting. I think that happened to Hopper. Basically, I think Hopper went to Clemson and had some issues being away from the nest.
Yep.
Heidi Kroom, $4.99. Does Rich have any single friends?
I think everybody's about taken now with Luke finally getting his rose.
Wow. Heidi, we'll put you on the list. Right at the very top. Yeah.
You got that right.
Little reality show.
Yeah.
Hey, did she actually do that to him just to fuck with him? He must have got a phone call or a text or something came in.
Wife's calling.
Okay.
Wife's calling.
Okay. Last thing. Rich refused to come on the show unless the deal was he would come on the show if I plugged his new Nano. And he said I had to do it in the first 90 minutes. So let's get that shit out of the way.
So here it is.
Hey, is that, I didn't know Dave was such a, Dave called Rory and asked for some shoes. I'm like, buy your own. He's like, no, I'm getting mine. I'm getting mine. Get mine from the source.
That colorway is not my favorite. I wish it was a little bit more red, white, and blue. For being 100% honest,
really going
I like the black and red. But the red, white, and blue is supposed to be red, white, and blue. That looks more like a bomb pop, one of those ice cream things. So I'll wear the black and red. So white and pink and blue is not my.
That looks like a girl shoe.
Not my first choice. Yes.
Is that? I just assumed that was the female one.
I don't think so. I think they're I think they're gender neutral shoes. I think you can get both sizes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you can. Look at that. What about what are you going to wear at Wodapalooza? Will you wear the new ones? Do you wear some ones that you're addicted to, or that's like a superstition?
Man, I do love this shoe, that black and red shoe, but man, I always come back to this the X1 with this one. It's my favorite shoe.
Oh, okay. And they still have that on there too. That shoe's actually on sale on there right now, by the way.
Yeah, but you can't get my size ever. So I don't even have any more of them. So I'm just hanging on to them barely.
How many shoes do you have in a box?
I don't know if I have many in the box. Honestly, I just wear shoes until they die, and then I ask for more.
Wow.
I try to keep
they only have two sizes left.
Yeah.
I know. I try to get them to make more colors of those, but they wouldn't.
How many more years left with Reebok?
Two. Yep. 2024, 10 years.
Rich Froning, Nike athlete. Rich, can you help bring back? Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, Rich.
Twice.
This is true.
That's twice. I got to go.
This is truly the final question then. Can you help bring back the Nano too? That's a great question.
I'm trying. I've tried. We'll see.
All right. Brother.
All right. Love you. Bye.
You.
Yeah, love you too.
Guys.
Thank you for everything. Thank you, brother.
See you next week.
Back.
Yeah,
see you next week.
Yeah.
Caleb from the undisclosed location.
Caleb, what happened to your hat, dude?
It was getting hot.
You don't wear it after midnight?
Yeah.
Yeah, indestructible. That's why I have a feeling that's why they'll never bring those back.
Yeah, they last too long. Too good of a shoe.
Look at this
Are
fucking.
you just basking in it right now? Or?
Oh, dude! Look at this. We started the week with Spencer and Laura Horvat. Who did we have?
Olivia.
Oh, Olivia Kerstetter. Olivia Kerstetter and Spencer Panchik. We started the week. Then we switched to the affiliate series, which was way better than I was expecting from Trish Evangelista for Babylon CrossFit. Then we had the X Games director on in-house, popping the hymen of the show. That's a medical term, Caleb. You may not be familiar with it. Hymen.
I'll have to Google that one later.
Okay. Dave Castro. Oh no! Before I missed. How could I miss? We had Daniel Brandon.
That was a great show. It's a lot of fun.
And then we after a hard week of climaxing with Dave, we just sat back on the couch and smoked a cigarette with Rich Froning Jr. Crazy.
Awesome.
I probably need some scripture. I'm like, I'm putting like, I'm so proud of us and I'm not putting Jesus first and I feel a little bad for it, but
well, it's never too late to change.
He understands. Don't worry. He understands.
He does.
Yeah.
He's going to slap me down now.
Yeah.
The rock's going to hit the windshield of my minivan and it's going to bring me back to earth.
Don't get too high.
Oh, shit. It's more of a double climax. I know. That's a woman talking. That's how you guys do it. We don't do that one so much. We don't double climax.
Yeah, ain't no double climaxing around here.
we're a one and done, and then smoke a cigarette or something. Go to the fridge.
Yeah, it could be a solid 60 seconds.
But I appreciate you, Heidi, extending the metaphor to include both sexes.
Very inclusive.
What a week! Can someone pay me just to watch your podcasts all day? Yeah. Can someone pay us to do them all day? Vindicate, get all your CEO clothes there. Froning brought double the viewers in the middle of the day than Danielle Brand. Let's not do that.
Whoa,
but good point. But good point. It's crazy. The Danielle Brandon show was really good. I felt like she got the best version of me. She brought out the best version of me.
It was worth getting jacked up on espresso and being up until midnight that night.
Yeah, she was. I'm looking to see how well the I can't.
Hey, you think that Rich Froning hanging out with Cam Hanes is going to lead to him being on Rogan?
Oh, because Cam's been on Rogan?
Well, they're buddies, right? He's like in that little group. I don't know why I fucking said it like that. They're way cooler than I am. But he's in that group with like
tight, elite.
Yeah, the
elite.
tight group. That's what I meant. And so like I feel like once Cam hangs out with Rich, he's gonna be like, dude, this guy's awesome. And then somehow he'll connect up with Joe, and then next thing you know, we'll have the champ on the podcast.
The thing is, right? I mean, say that again, Caleb.
Cam's gonna be at that race. He's gonna do too. I bet.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Rich though is the double whammy. I mean, we all love him because he's the champ in our community, but he's like actually really cool, right? I'm not stupid. He's like the coolest dude ever, right?
Yeah, definitely. You could just hang out with him. Especially, I bet we get the unfiltered Rich when there's no cameras on too. Probably having even a little more fun.
Yeah, but you know what? He brings it to this show.
He does here.
He fucking brings it, dude. I mean, I knew a younger Rich when I used to see him in person, but he's. Yeah,
and I didn't mean like he was holding anything back, but you know how it is. Everybody, when you're on the camera, there's this, But when you're just hanging out,
like the shit I say to you about Caleb as soon as I call you. When we're done with the show, I don't say on the show. Right.
He's the people's champ, baby.
God. I just feel like if we stay on longer, he might come back. Like, do you think he'll come back? He'll be like, oh, my wife didn't need me. I'm back for 10 more.
Like, all right, I got 15. Let's get some more questions going.
Killing it as usual, fellas. Victor Brown.
Thanks, Victor.
Oh, you know what talking to Rich makes me want to do too? Makes me want to text Josh Bridges.
You should. See what he's doing next weekend. Maybe he'll stop in and say hi.
Let me see. And you know what? I should text Hobart too. What do you think? Do you think we could do another series with Hobart? You think he's ready?
I fucking hope so. I really missed James on the show.
Podcast soon. I'd like to know what your apostrophe RE up to. And
good grammar.
Hobart was a fun guest. He was more than a guest. He was like
he was a rate. Yeah. What are you talking about? He did. How many shows did he do with us on that Sunday news?
I'll text Hobart too. Can you come on soon? Can you come on soon. Please. Oh, I didn't say please to Josh. Please. Excuse me. Oh, shit. I know. Wow.
What?
One of the biggest names. I can't tell you who this text is from, but one of the biggest names. And that's crazy to say that with Rich's being on.
Yeah.
Just text me and says it looks like Sousa's auditioning for a movie. He is Grease 17. Pull up John Travolta. This fucking hair is crazy. Or what was the movie Outsiders? You look like you're from Outsiders. Oh, I know. Grundler too. Oh yeah. You know what? That show with Grundler was really good. People always ask me what was some of my favorite shows are, but Grundler was easy. We tear shit up. We never even got. I had a whole list of shit to talk with Grundler about. I didn't get to one of them.
That was a really good show with him. You guys did. Yeah, I'll fuck up a Soch.
Yeah, you look. I would just stuff. I would just stuff Sousa in there between
smokes. Roll up a pack of smokes in my sleeve.
Just stuff him in there between Matt Dillon and what's the guy from Young Guns there with the Mickey Mouse shirt?
I have no idea.
God, Patrick Swayze, Ralph Macchio, fucking Matt Dillon. Who's this guy? He was in Young Guns. Billy the Kid. Who is that? Someone tell me. My God, how can I not remember that?
Know. Hey, you want
to Emilio Estevez, yes. And who's the guy on the left? The far left, the little pinner.
Hey, if you want to see something crazy that looks exactly like me with long hair, look up Robbie Benson.
Robbie Benson
was a famous actor in the 70s. Look it up. There's one of him like shirtless playing a guitar and something else. When I used to bartend and my hair was like super long,
wow,
it looked exactly like me, and people said it all the time. This was probably like 15 years ago, but they'd say it all the time. And not 15 years ago.
You're so young looking still. It's crazy. How old are you?
35. I just turned 35 in November.
Yeah, you're the same age as Rich. I guess you guys look the same age.
Yeah. We got the same size arms too, I think.
Let me look up John Travolta. You know what you also look like? You kind of look like Lou Ferrigno before you got if you just got juiced to the gills.
Yes.
Yes,
he does.
Like so much steroids that your nose grew.
If I wouldn't pass out for needles and wasn't a scaredy cat, I'd get juiced to the gills and just be yoked.
I mean, look at this. This is you, dude, right here with Olivia Newton-John.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it.
Hey, you should put gel in your hair for one of the shows.
Fuck.
Just for shits and giggles, just so we can rip on you.
I was gonna shave it back before Wodapalooza because I don't want to have to deal with it.
Did you shampoo it today?
No, I didn't. No. I was wearing a beanie earlier before this actually because I coached all the morning classes.
It really does look good. It's so poofy.
It is. I always get that. People always think that I'm.
What's your wife saying about it and your family saying about it? What are you getting from the pundits in your life?
The ones that have known me for a really long time, it's not a surprise because my hair used to be super long back in my art school days and shit. So a lot of them are just like, oh, it looks like it did when you were much younger. And everybody else just is like, oh my gosh, your hair's crazy. Also, too, it's funny that people are like,
oh my God, there it is, dude.
Turn
Turn to the side a little bit. Turn to the side. No, other way. Oh my God. And do your lips like this. And pucker your lips up. Yeah. Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Oh shit. Careful, Sevi. Careful.
Gotta remember that
play a whole movie. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's funny. Like a lot of my friends that are my age now, because 35, and Sevan, you probably tested this. You see a couple people that like you used to be friends with maybe in high school or your early 20s.
Yeah.
And half of them you look at and you're like, oh shit, you're getting fat.
Yeah.
And like you could look at some of my stuff from when I was in my early 20s when I first started CrossFit till now and relatively look the same. Attribute that.
Oh, that's cool.
How I eat and the workouts that I do every day.
My mouse stopped working. Oh, here we go. Someone asked in here, will Matt Fraser come back on? So here's where I am at with Matt Fraser. I would fucking love. Oh yeah. I would love to have Matt on. And it would be awesome. I just don't think that for whatever reason, nothing bad, nothing good. I don't think he wants to come on. Every once in a while I'll chat with him, and I don't want to make it awkward. If he ever wanted to come on, I would be like, yeah, what took you so long? But I don't want to keep, I've bugged him. He hates your guts. No, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. But I just don't want to, I fuck with them already. I fuck with everyone from my little office here and at the Three Plain Brothers Empire. And I'll still fuck with them a little bit, just like I fuck with everyone. And if he wants to come on, I would just love on him. But I don't know. I'm not going to bug him anymore. I've bugged him enough. I'm now moved on to Hopper. I'll fuck with Hopper a little bit. That's the problem. These people who do shows with me and then kind of ghost me. Part of me is like, Sevan, don't fucking like I've been fucking with Hopper. If I really thought he didn't like me or they didn't like me, I wouldn't fuck with them.
Exactly.
So, no, I don't think that's true at all. I don't think Fraser's woke at all. If you want to know the truth, I think he's the opposite of woke, and he's navigating a very tricky landscape. Same with Sam Dancer, and I would respect that. You know what I mean? I'm not. I know Sam Dancer's ecosystem, but I think me and Sam Dancer see eye to eye on a lot of shit. And I'm not here to fuck with anyone. If you're not on the live call-in show, I'm not gonna. If you're someone in the CrossFit community, I'm not gonna I don't care. I'm everyone in the community is welcome on here. I don't care. If you want to come on this show and say that you think I'm transphobic or that I'm misogynist, you can still come on this show and I can be your friend because the truth is I probably think you're misogynist and I think you're transphobic. So, I mean, it's okay. It's perfectly okay. But that's my deal with Matt. I bugged him enough. He knows I would love to have him on. I think the world of Hopper and O'Keefe and all those guys, they're cool. So
fucking Trish's comments.
I can't get a hold of Brooke in. Someone tell her I want her to come on. I watched her podcast with Sam Dancer the other day. Oh, good. What are we laughing at here?
I'm just laughing at Trish's comments. They're just so ridiculous.
Ripping us apart.
Beaver looks like a volunteer fighter with 2 divorces under his belt. That's fair. That's totally fair. Sousa looks like he teaches women about their bodies at a local Holiday Inn Suites. Holy shit. You gotta stop. I do not. This one's not accurate. Those other ones are good.
Only because it's you.
Those other ones are good. I don't sell anything at a gas station.
Oh shit! Trish is bringing some heat.
Oh my god! If Beaver looks like the assistant girls volleyball coach who gets all the girls' Snapchats. Oh shit! Trish want a job at the fake Sevan podcast. Is that thing still going? That thing doesn't pop up in my feed anymore.
I don't think it's been posted on a while. Oh
yeah. Tell Brooks that I'd love to have her on. Yeah, I'm curious. I actually watched the podcast that her and Sam Dancer on, and you know what's interesting? She was so calm on that podcast. I mean, she was the host, but she was so calm. She still have a pretty big following, right? Look up antisocial. It's used wrong. Okay, fuck you then. Let me look it up. Because I asked if Rich was antisocial. You're saying I use antisocial is a personality disorder. It's a particularly challenging type of personality disorder characterized by like there's any personality disorders that aren't particularly challenging. It's a particularly challenging type of personality disorder characterized by impulsive, irresponsible, and often criminal behavior. Oh yeah, I did use it wrong. Oh fuck me. Oh shit! Did you see the text we got? No. You're gonna love it. You're gonna be giddy. Good. Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna go out and do some blow. It was nice hanging with you guys. Holy shit. Hey, you know what's crazy? I will tell you guys this about exciting news. That is two pretty incredible texts we got. I mean, that's what I mean. He's a fucking needle mover.
Mhm.
You have Rich on and just good shit reigns. Someone did say the other day that they think that they may have a sponsor, and they told me who the sponsor was, and it would be absolutely a perfect sponsor for a Loveline show with Danielle Brandon.
That's all we need. A little incentive, baby. We'll
Oh
get it
my
in here. It'll be
God.
great.
It would be nuts, you guys.
That show would be crazy, dude. Especially too, like if we really got some good graphics and she was like, you know, fully invested in it to where she posted a ton up on her Instagram and was like, come call me for advice. Like, holy shit. We might then have to actually start vetting those calls.
Fuck that.
Like I'm gonna have to come sit on that couch.
Hey, oh yeah, people will say some crazy shit.
Yeah,
you love talking about drugs too much to not do any drugs. I don't do any drugs. I mean, I used to do some drugs, not a lot. A Fleshlight sponsored, that would be cool, but not them.
Maybe they'd send one out here to me.
It's more in the, no, not Viagra.
Oh, that would be.
Oh yeah, Heidi could get the calls. That'd be cool.
Forward to her, then she links.
Oh, that would be an amazing sponsor, Tony.
Oh, Bumble or Tinder or Bumble as a sponsor.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna reach out to him right now.
Pedro, hi there, buddy. Good to see you, dude. No, I don't even do a little bit of cannabis. None. I do caffeine. I don't do boner pills. I've taken boner pills once or twice. It's for a guy like me, it's a complete fucking train wreck. It is. It says more than 4 hours. I was like hard for like a week. And if you have a dick like mine, you basically are stuck. You just can't do anything. It's just crazy. The wind blows. Have you ever taken one of those, either of you guys, recreationally?
Viagra?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Dude, it is a fucking
recreationally, just
like just pop one just to see what it'd be like. Oh
cruise
my
the beach
God.
in a Speedo and just.
You can't think about anything for a fucking week. You got to be just so on point, focused. Like if anything, like you see a bird fly by and you get hard, you're like, what?
Ding.
Yeah. It's a
Somebody
fucking.
wiping the frother of the coffee machine.
Is there, Katie? Is there a non-recreational use? Oh shit!
Medicinal for some. It's medicinal.
Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, it's. No, I'm not trying anything else that does anything to my. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did. Arginine was crazy too. In college, I used to take a lot of arginine, and you had to be careful with that shit too. That shit'll make your dick so hard it'll hurt. You got to be so careful. OD on arginine. Viagra's good to take on high altitude. Oh, no, I'm good. I've reached a point, like, if I don't want, I'm happy when I don't want to have sex. Like it's good to have the time off. I sent you a thumbnail for the Danielle Brandon show, Sevan. Oh, that's cool. What was wrong with my thumbnail?
Thumbnails have been great.
Thank you.
Merry Armenian Christmas.
Oh, is it January 6th?
It is.
Oh, yeah. Merry Christmas to everyone. Sevan, do you play chess? If so, what's your... no, I don't. I mean, I do, but I don't. I mean, I play with my kids. Oh, for altitude sickness. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I was like, I figured it was like another use.
A lot of dudes take Viagra during Hell Week and buds. No shit. Hey, I didn't like the way it made my head feel. I didn't enjoy it. And it's so deadly powerful. It's so powerful. It wasn't fun. It felt like I was a sophomore in high school again in Spanish class, and like I was stuck there. Like coming up the waistline. You know what I mean? You're like, oh fuck, where am I gonna put this? I saw a homeless dude with a CEO shirt on in Santa Monica this past weekend. Fuck off. Franco, I swear to God, you did not. Unless it was me.
If that is true, you definitely need to send in a photo. We need video of it. We'll post it on our Instagram.
Hey, Sevan, do you have a business email? I have a few questions about homeschooling. I don't have social media. I just have SevanMatosian@gmail. And don't anyone think you can ever bug me, because if you start to bug me, I just block you. So don't, like, anyone can text me or do whatever they want as much. I pin the people I want to talk to at the top, and the rest I try. So SevanMatosian@gmail. All right. Oh shit. Yeah, they just died. The Navy is getting investigated because of Viagra. No shit.
Wow.
Come on.
Crazy. And Viagra is one of those like accident drugs, right? Like they intended it for something else, and then when they started doing the trials, they're like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, right there. Jesse just put it. It was another use for hypertension.
Viagra deaths. I'm just Googling it. Wow, there's been 41 deaths from of the 41 Viagra deaths for which the Food Drug Administration had information regarding time of ingestion, 25 patients died or had onset symptoms leading to the death 4 to 5 hours after the use of the drug. The other 16 were found in their mate. Wow. All right. It's a good place to die. No, you don't tuck it in your waistband. It comes up over your waistband, and like there's nowhere to put it.
Yeah, it goes from 6 to
Like
noon.
you have your shirt, your pants pulled up to your nipples, and your shirt's pulled down to your knees, and your penis is still coming out. It's like, what do you like? And Spanish class is over, and you're like, what am I gonna do?
I gotta stand up.
Yeah.
There's an issue.
No, don't text me throughout the day. Okay. All right, guys. I will see you guys. Oh, tomorrow.
Yep.
Tomorrow morning we have Paige Powers. That's
right.
gonna be fun. And then I think sometime tomorrow night I'd like to do a live call-in show. I'll talk to Susan and Caleb about that.
Don't forget, I'm coming over tomorrow. I gotta get all our stuff together.
Oh, that means I need to prep tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I gotta get our stuff.
Will you bring all this stuff anyway so we can see what we have?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll bring
cool.
everything.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rich Froning.
Thank you.
What an
Rich.
amazing show. Great guy. Always nice that he does that charity work for us. Caleb, bye. Mr. Souza, bye-bye.